This is the Bay Area's news station. KRON 4 News starts now with breaking news.
And breaking overnight, a Vallejo woman and her boyfriend on the loose this morning in Southern California after faking the woman's kidnapping. Police say Denise Huskins, who was reported kidnapped and held for ransom in Vallejo, fabricated the entire story. This is the last known video of Huskins when she was discovered Wednesday morning near her parents' home in Southern California. Since then, she has disappeared again, and her family has hired a private attorney. Meanwhile, authorities are angry about the hoax, and Huskins and her boyfriend, Aaron Quinn, could face serious federal charges.
Mr. Quinn and Ms. Huskins has plundered valuable resources away from our community and has taken the focus away from the true victims of our community while instilling fear amongst our community members. So if anything, it is Mr. Quinn and Ms. Huskins that owes this community an apology.
Well, this all started on Monday when Aaron Quinn called police to tell them that Huskins had been abducted by strangers. The report triggered a massive search of Mare Island. Then at 10:30 yesterday morning, police in Huntington Beach called Vallejo police and told them they had found Huskins safe. Police say at first Huskins appeared willing to cooperate with investigators, but after police and the FBI arranged a jet to fly her back to Northern California, they were unable to find her. They're still searching for her and Quinn this morning, the two on the loose. Meanwhile, KRON 4 spoke with a family friend who has known Denise Huskins for more than 20 years. They say they're shocked by this whole affair. Those who know Huskins say the whole situation just doesn't make any sense. They said that she has always been a trusting person and someone who has worked hard so that she could go to college. During a press conference, neighbors in the area still had some questions, though, about what happened.
Something just doesn't sound right. Thank goodness she's alive and everything is fine, but if they think that this is a funny joke, then other things need to be evaluated. I kind of thought to myself, this just seems kind of weird, because when they interviewed the father, he didn't seem very concerned as a dad and just didn't look as emotional as I would thought a father might be that his daughter is missing.
I could see there'd be a little upset, you know, people concerned for her safety, her family, her friends, and community, and yeah, it's kind of a shame.
And again, this morning, there's no sign of any member of the Huskins family. They've all gone into seclusion. Keep it tuned to KRON 4, and don't forget about our website, kron4.com. As we learn more about this case, perhaps maybe a location of the family or Ms. Huskins herself, we'll let you know through our website and through our social media platforms on Facebook and on Twitter. Well, let's take a live look outside now. The Embarcadero camera this morning showing us pretty nice conditions here around the bay. Potential for some record-breaking temperatures this afternoon. Let's find out the latest from Michelle. Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, good morning, James. You are absolutely correct. A ridge of high pressure is across our area, which is why those temperatures will continue to heat up this afternoon. Now, we are waking up to just a few clouds in our region, and those clouds will move out. Then we'll see some sunshine, and those temperatures will quickly warm up this afternoon. Very similar to yesterday morning, temperatures are into the 40s and 50s across much of the area. San Francisco, 55. Across Santa Rosa, some mid to upper 40s. Pleasanton, 50 degrees. Hayward, 55 degrees. So 50s to start. And it is on the slightly cooler side, and then we'll quickly warm up. So here's a look at your day planner for today. Temperatures will continue to bottom out into the upper 40s. For inland areas and parts of coastal locations, the Bay, 53 over the next few hours before that sun comes up. And then lunchtime, temperatures are going to quickly warm up. Look at the coast, mid to upper 60s. But if you are across inland locations, I'm talking about East Bay and South Bay, those temperatures will quickly be into the low to mid 70s. And then into the afternoon, we are going to continue to warm up into the 80s across much of the area. So these temperatures are well above average, almost 10 to 15 degrees from where we should be for this time of year. So if you have any outdoor plans, just be prepared that it's going to feel very hot. Make sure you take plenty of breaks if you are going to be outside. Now, coming up, we're going to talk more about what else to expect with your Storm Tracker 4 7-day forecast. If the heat will continue to stick around, we'll have all those details coming up at 4:15. Now, a quick check of the bridges this morning. Here's what it looks like right now. If you are traveling westbound on I-80 right before the toll plaza, traffic is moving the speed limit, and it is still very quiet at 4:04 this morning. Now, another check of another bridge, the San Mateo Bridge. Traffic in that westbound direction. We see some cars on the roads traveling closer to the peninsula. Not seeing any other delays, though, so you shouldn't have any holdups as you continue in that westbound direction. Now, looking at the eastbound direction, it looks like only one lane of traffic is getting by, so just be prepared that you could see some minor delays in that eastbound direction. All right, looking at the Golden Gate Bridge, traffic heading southbound on 101 from Marin County. I'm just seeing a few cars on the roads for this morning. Traffic in the northbound direction, just that one car in that area. So no congestion this morning in this area. Very quiet across the Golden Gate Bridge. And one last check of the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. This is pretty typical for 405 in the morning. We have no traffic heading westbound right on 580. So very quiet commute this morning, which we always love. Yep. But temperatures are off to the cooler side, and they will quickly warm up, especially across inland locations where we could see some possible record high temperatures. Might have to break out the sunscreen. All right, yes. Michelle, thank you much. Back to the news now, and we have preparations underway this morning for the funeral of San Jose police officer Michael Johnson. You may recall he was shot and killed in the line of duty Tuesday night. We have video from our helicopter partnership with ABC 7 News that we can share with you now. It's video of his body being taken from the coroner's office in San Jose to a Los Gatos mortuary. Again, this all happening yesterday afternoon. You can see it escorted there by a procession of officers. As you might imagine, law enforcement community or law enforcement agencies throughout the Bay Area mourning the loss, especially those officers in San Jose. Ground 4's Jeff Bush has the latest.
The extraordinary bravery and
San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo was troubled by the death of 14-year veteran officer Michael Johnson. At the same time, police were back at the scene of the crime, the place where Michael was shot and killed by a despondent man with a rifle. A makeshift memorial was growing at the scene where the officer lost his life. By mid-afternoon, arrangements were underway for the transportation of Michael's body. It was a 7-mile journey from the medical examiner's office to the funeral home that is taking care of the arrangements. Streets were closed and police from all around cleared the way for the procession. Time seemed to stand still as a silent show of respect played out on the streets and the sidewalks of San Jose. People came to show their respects for the fallen officer who gave his life in the defense of others. Eventually, the procession made its way to the Darling and Fisher Funeral Home in Los Gatos. A multitude of police officers from numerous agencies saluted their fallen brother and quietly honored Michael Johnson, the veteran police officer who loved his job and loved the police force and loved the people he was sworn to protect.
Officer Michael Johnson's family has also released a statement about losing their loved one, and you can see on your screen it reads that they are deeply saddened by the loss and that his passing has left a deep hole in their hearts. They appreciate all the thoughts and prayers from the community. We also heard from Sergeant Paul Kelly, who was Officer Johnson's sergeant at the beginning of his career. He spoke about the fallen officer.
This tragedy that we have to deal with at San Jose right now is a huge loss internally, as is it when we lose the life of any brother or sister in our family. And what's important is to fight through these sad times, to lean on each other and be there for Mike in spirit, and then also for his family for support.
Officer Johnson was a martial arts instructor here in the Bay Area. He loved to serve his community. Colleagues say he had a great attitude, never complained. The San Jose Police Officers Association say they are making arrangements for the funeral. They haven't specified exactly what those details are, but we'll let you know when they determine exactly what they'll do. We'll take a quick break. Coming up on the Cron 4 Morning News, teachers at a North Bay elementary school are being called heroes now after saving a little boy's life. We're going to tell you how they did it in today's My Cron 4 story. Plus, another officer-involved shooting in the South Bay. We'll tell you what happened as officers returned to work following Tuesday's deadly shooting. And coming up after the break, we're going to hear from a hiker who witnessed last weekend's deadly trail collapse at Point Reyes. We'll tell you why he says the park could have done more to prevent it. Here's a live look at the San Mateo Bridge. As we check conditions outside, let's talk about Sunnyvale this morning. 50 degrees at the moment. Should warm up to the mid-70s by noontime, and then looking at mid-80s this afternoon.